Yatoro is owning on Juggernaut right now. Over 23 matches, he has an 82.6% win rate and is dominating his matches. It's so crazy because he's just playing this hero like a madman, and I even got the pleasure of playing against it in one of my recent pubs, and I could feel the power of the hero. The laning stage, like the old Juggernaut, is still obviously quite good. However, the reason why the hero is practically never seen, at least as of late, is honestly, it gets countered by a lot of the popular defensive items. It's not very good against Pavis. It's not very good against Glimmer. You have to buy Dust if you're going to Omni Slash people. So it can struggle. I don't really feel like it's very good against Crimson Guard either, a pretty popular item. And so why would Juggernaut be good? Well, we're going to try to study Yatoro here and figure that out. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like literally with the gameleap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the gameleap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Another thing before we get into the laning stage to mention about this hero is the fact that it's been nerfed quite a lot. The only change that it seemingly received in 7.33 is the fact that now Omni Slash is an 120 second cooldown instead of 130, which is certainly good, but is it really game changing? I don't think so. And the last thing, I'm not really sure when they made this change, but alas, at level 10 you get 5 all stats, which I'm pretty sure is the same. They did buff the Blade Fury Radius talent at 10, but he doesn't even take it. He takes 20 healing word cooldown at 15, and then Blade Dance Lifesteal, 50% Blade Dance Lifesteal. So every time you crit, you get 50% health back from those crits, which is certainly a lot of health. Probably equates to like 20% or 30% lifesteal, something like that, considering you're critting only, 35% of the time. So yeah, it's probably about 30% lifesteal, which is certainly a solid talent, but once again, I don't really see this as like a huge jug talent because the hero tends to not really man up to people. But let's see how Yatoro makes Tread's Battle Fury Jug work. So in the first creep wave, he actually auto-attacks the creep down completely and buys Magic Wand and Quelling Blade. Obviously, this is somewhat lane specific. The hero absolutely needs a Magic Wand, but it's particularly good here because of the fact that he's against a Bristleback, right? It certainly makes a lot of sense. From there, he actually skills Healing Ward at level 1 and puts it on his Crystal Maiden. Now, Healing Ward has been nerfed so hard over time. Like, this ability used to be nearly 2 times as good as it currently is. It's way slower, the radius is worse, it gives a ton of golden XP. Like, Healing Ward is honestly kind of a crap ability. So if you are going to use it at level 1 like this, you have to have proper micro. If you don't, it is a mega feed. It is 2 last hits, 2 full last hits. If it dies, you cannot feed it away. And so I like this strategy from him. It's really cool. It's truly going to enable the CM to completely outtrade the Rubik. And if the CM is good, you can see she's positioning along the tree line here so that the Healing Word can stay behind the trees and she can trade with the Rubik, right? So it's pretty cool what they're doing here. It's actually completely owning this Rubik and allowing the Crystal Maiden, who's not that strong at level 1, okay, but not great due to her base stats, to really do well. So I'm a big fan of what they're going for here. Now from there, Yataro's going to ship out Band of Elvenskin from Treads, just helping him last hit better and trade a little bit better. It's also a tad of armor against Bristleback, but you don't really need it. His career ends up going down here, but Jug CM, in classic Jug CM fashion, hits level 2 and gets a kill. They go onto the Bristle, a Frostbite in the Spin, and nothing's truly changed there. Spin plus CM spells at level 2 tends to get a kill. So in terms of his early items, he goes Treads basically every single game. There's 2 different item builds he goes, which I'll quickly discuss now. He goes Battle Fury into Diffusal or Battle Fury into Manta almost every game. And then before that, he goes Treads Windlace every single match. And the reason why Treads are better, at least from my experience, is they just make you hit way harder with Omni Slash. While Phase Boots are good for chasing people down, Phase Boots are certainly weaker for farming. You just hit the creeps slower. It does less damage in Omni Slash because Omni Slash heavily benefits from attack speed due to the fact that it slashes based on your attack speed and gives you flat bonus damage. And so it's really nice to synergize that flat bonus damage with the attack speed. It also does give bonus attack speed, but for some reason, I'm not exactly sure on all the numbers, but I certainly know that Treads is overall more DPS on Omnislash within the early game. And it's, as I said, better for farming. On top of that, Treads are much cheaper than Phase Boots. I guess considering he's supplementing the movement speed with Windlace, funny enough, it's probably about the same cost, but Treads also give plus 10 movement speed to melee heroes now. So this Treads Windlace actually makes melee heroes incredibly fast, and it allows you to feel almost like a phased Jug, but with more attack speed, 10 damage, a better mana pool due to int tread switching, and overall the ability to just farm faster. So in terms of the laning stage, he kind of just gets kills over time. I mean, this is a very easy Jug lane. Jug for the longest time has been considered a bristle counter because Omnislash hits from the front and Spin kills him in the lane, but it's just they do a great job of getting good synergy here. Full HP Bristleback, yeah, just dies. Just straight up dies. Even with Vanguard. And that's kind of the nice thing about Jug in this patch. He's actually somewhat of a counter. Oh, his career dies again. He's somewhat of a counter to these Vanguard heroes. I wouldn't say he's insanely good. I don't want to tell you guys, Juggernaut completely makes Vanguard useless because he does magic damage. It's like, no, that's not really the case. It's not the case. So unfortunately, you're still going to struggle on Vanguard timing against most heroes like this Bristle. I'm not going to say he's fine, because what they should do is once they hit level 5 Spin, they should go on him anyway. And the reason why is Vanguard, it doesn't give enough HP regen to heal against. Oh wow, he's actually spinning the wave. I really feel like they should go on the Bristle here, I'm not gonna lie. I guess they probably feel like with the Vanguard they can't pressure him, but either way, he's gonna go Cornucopia here, which is the shitty build-up item to the Battle Fury, and he's gonna use Intreads to spin down these camps. So at this point, he's determined that, okay, I'm gonna spin out the wave and I'm just gonna outfarm Bristleback. I really do feel that they could pressure the Bristle with the CM nukes, but either way, he decides to drop Healing Ward and continue to look to farm. And with the fruit thingy, so he got a couple Fruit Lotuses, he's got the Cornucopia, he's got Magic Wand, Healing Ward. He can easily sustain against the Bristle, continue to spin out the wave, and then farm the nearby camps. And yeah, it's a very simple execution. You drop Healing Ward as much as you need. Anytime you're below a half health, you should drop Healing Ward, and you continue to farm the camps. As he drops a very aggressive Omnislash. He will not die though, but that was particularly aggressive. And you can see the spin. Yeah, I feel like they could have just chipped him down. So the reason why he probably didn't want to spin is a situation like that, where he commits the spin and he actually almost dies because of it. But I really feel like they could have just, oh my god, he's still getting chased. Wow, they got him. Oh, that's super good from the enemy. I really feel that they could have just chipped him, like get him to half health, only build up 2 to 3 quills, and then back off and do it again later. But either way, he eventually is going to get the kill, as you kind of see, and that's what happens, right? Yeah, from there, it's kind of just natural efficiency. Because of the fact that the hero doesn't get kicked out of the lane, he can get a good Battle Fury timing by just kind of sitting in the lane, pushing out the lane, killing the nearby camp, and rinse repeating. From there, he actually rotates mid on his Battle Fury timing. I don't think this is because he hit Battle Fury. I think it's just because they were diving mid, and Juggernaut's very strong at this point of the game. That's another part about this hero that's definitely powerful. There's a lot of very greedy hard carries going around right now. The Terrorblades, the Nagas, you know, the Alchemist, who want to be hitting creeps right now. And if you can manage to hit good timings, even without good timings, you can kind of push your team over the edge in these early team fights and win these team fights for your team. So it's sort of an interesting approach to this patch of like, you can play the greedy heroes, even though it seemingly, you know, all the camps doesn't favor them as much. You can play the greedy heroes and still continue to win these early game fights for your team, and that's what Yotaro does. What I really like about Yotaro's gameplay is his understanding of how to use Spin and Omnislash correctly. A lot of people overforce these abilities, and that's when Juggernaut just gets no value and feels like the worst hero in Dota. And so you'll see in this team fight here, he doesn't immediately go in, right? He's kind of waiting out of it. So the enemy team ends up going in. He was looking for an Omnislash on DP here, but he got close to the tower, and the creep wave is pushing in. So there's a good chance the Omnislash doesn't do anything. So he actually overchases here probably a little bit, maybe a lot of it, as the Legion ends up nearly dying. Big stun from Lion. But the enemy team actually chases on and eventually does pick up the kill. But what I like is, as I said, he's very patient. He lets his Q come up. Unfortunately, his team ends up dying. Kind of waits for his opportunity for someone to get isolated, doesn't force the Omnislash on a Crimson Abaddon here, wouldn't do much damage, and you know, the Abaddon also has ult, so he has good patience. He understands this is not his targets. He needs to wait for someone squishier to get isolated. The DP goes in, she gets dueled, she's not Crimson, that's already been used, and now he gets a huge Battle Fury Omnislash, right? The cleave goes to work, chopping them all down, and eventually the Bristle falls as well, and that's a huge turn. So his awareness to know that, okay, I cannot Omnislash the Crimson, at least I should try not to, cannot Omnislash the Abaddon, it's just a waste. Even Omnislashing Bristle, it's good, but it's not going to do that much at this point of the game. So yeah, good patience to wait for it on a ranged hero that really gets decimated by it. And really what's notable to me is that he's even willing to fight without Omnislash, which is something that like wasn't really typical advice in the past. You could fight, like, the general advice in the past was if you don't have Omni Slash, you don't fight. I don't know, you just don't. You actually just don't fight without Omni Slash. But from this clip, he just goes in, right? They don't seem that low, but the CM gets a very solid ultimate onto the Bristleback. They're able to take him out. He drops a max level healing ward, and yeah, Juggernaut is still pretty strong in these fights, especially if the healing ward does not get killed. It's one of the best abilities in the game, easily, right? The problem is it gets killed. But yeah, with the Treads Windlace, because of the fact that they buffed Treads and he has the Windlace, he seems very fast. Like, this hero tends to not be able to right-click much, but due to the fact that they made these changes and he has a Yasha at this point, he's running around at 412 movement speed with no buff. Right now, to be fair, this is nighttime, and so he's getting the bonus 30 movement speed, but either way, he's still going to be running incredibly quickly. In the team fight, still only dropped to what, 380? Funny enough, the 412 is actually his base movement speed. 445 is the bonus nighttime speed. So he's even running faster, because how it works, for everyone who doesn't know, you get a bonus 30 movement speed on melee heroes of the night. The only reason he's getting brought up to 445 instead of 432 is because of the fact that he gets 10% bonus movement speed for Menta, so he gets an extra 3 movement speed on that 30. Right, so it gets, brings him to 445. But 412 movement speed is crazy fast as he drops. Does this kill him? Yeah, you can kind of see the problem about Jug against Crimson. Oh, God. It does feel a little bit bad. Oh, no, is he dead? Oh, the movement speed? Spinning? TPing? Oh, that was close. From there, he queues up the Butterfly, which I think is just kind of, it's a good item against Bristle, good against Alk, right? The evasion is really nice, and it's also just a pretty high DPS item. Now, this team fight here is absolutely excellent. He gets a DD, and he understands he wants to force the fight. I think without even the DD, he would probably have made this play, but he's going to pick up a double damage, gets the mid tower off of it, sees the enemy team bottom, feels comfortable pushing here. Of course, also he has spin to bail him out if he needs to, right? But then he's going to actually preemptively TP bottom, and this is what makes these carry players top level. They read the fight before it happens. Now, this is obviously a risk, because if the enemy doesn't fight, well, you're kind of wasting your TP. You would rather be hitting the triangle here. However, that's not what ends up happening. His read is correct. He pops a scan. He just naturally sees the movement coming. Lion ends up dying, but he pings for his team to go in anyway, and he's able to find the Omni Slash onto the Death Prophet, and she is not tanky enough to tank a double damage Omni Slash. Crimson or not, there is no Crimson here, but even with the Crimson, it certainly would not have saved her. And so yeah, the double damage rune absolutely owning this fight is, oh, the damage is insane. And the Bristleback, oh my god, Bristleback's such a goofy hero now. From there, he picks up a pretty odd, honestly, what I consider an odd MKB. I'm just not used to seeing people just buy MKB when there doesn't seem to be a heavy amount of, mischance. There is the Radiance on Alchemist, but it's not like the key evasion item. Typically, MKB is a response to Wind Ranger, Phantom Assassin, and then Butterfly. Those tend to be the three main situations I see for MKB, but yeah, he just picks it up as seemingly a damage item here. I guess it is a nice mix between magic damage and physical damage, and it does make something like Crimson Guard not do nearly as much during the Omni Slash. From there, one thing I will say about this build is you're not that tanky. At 2000 HP, you still have to be pretty aware of the fact that you can die. He does have Blade Dance Lifesteal, so that is going to help him out at this point. Anytime he's manning up, or even during Omni Slash, he should heal like an absolute ton. So his mana potential is very good, which is kind of why I thought that he would buy something like a Scotty this game. There's a lot of healing on the side of the enemy team, only because, yeah, you typically want a little bit of HP to supplement when you have this lifesteal talents to make sure that you do not get bursted, right? You can turn the fight. But either way, duel comes out. Oh, the Bristleback counter. Rough matchup, very rough matchup as they just go in and duel him. And is he fine here? He's probably gonna have to spin, no man's up. And oh wow, it is impressive, I will admit. The Blade Dance lifesteal is very noticeable here. Your hero hits so fast and crits so often that it almost just seems like your built-in lifesteal is almost gonna die. He's gonna heal during the Omni, right? Yeah, look at that. Wow, okay. I mean, I just didn't really know, I didn't think that the reason why he's having success on this hero as the game progresses is because of the fact that when he comes out of the Omni, it's as if he had a Satanic, right? It really looks like he has a Satanic, and the Alk is like, this guy was 200 health and didn't have a healing ward. How is he full HP? But no, that's really how it works, which is why I said I kind of would imagine Scotty might have been better to prevent him from getting bursted, because keep in mind, he lived on 200 health. That was close. Titan's Liver definitely saved him there with the status resist and the magic resist. But yeah, he's just chopping and he's full HP. You can get kited a little bit, so I'd imagine he would pick up some sort of mobility item next. Abyssal, Scotty. He's probably dead here. Can he man up? No, he's just going to spin TP out. Okay. So the hero definitely can lack a bit of damage, and honestly, I'm not going to say that this, like, I wanted to make this video as kind of an analysis of Juggernaut. How do I see this hero? As, okay, he picks up Nullifier, which I love. The reason why I love this Nullifier is the way you counter Juggernaut is these cheap defensive items. Glimmer, Ghost, Yules, etc., etc. Nullifier counters all of them. It's also good against the Crimson because you can purge Crimson. But as I was saying, I kind of made this video as an analysis, like, is Juggernaut good enough? And I will say, this Blade lifesteal looks good. You're also able to kill Vanguard heroes. You have kill threat, and that is nice. It shuts down the meta a little bit. It's also, Jug is probably pretty good against Doom. He's okay. Obviously, you don't want to get doomed. He's probably pretty good against Doom in the lane, and it's probably a good hero against Underlord in general because of the fact that you can go something like MKB and do a lot of damage as the game progresses, even against the Atrophy Aura and the Crimson Guard. So I can see like this MKB Jug being very good against maybe Underlord too, and the lane against Underlord is pretty damn solid. He can't chip you down because of the healing ward, and you know, Spin is very good against Underlord, so I can totally see it. Wow, just Omnislash is the guy. Nullifier Omnislash. Just kills him for full. All right, well, yeah, I mean, once you have the Nullifier, you can kind of think to yourself, yeah, I mean, these defensive items that tend to kite me are just not there. Even something like Force Staff can be a problem for Jug because the Omnislash will force him into the enemy team. But just chopping out the Alkirin, all right, he's hitting hard. He's hitting for, what, nearly 400 damage, probably about 370 at this point in the game. And the Blade Dance lifesteal making him very, very sustainable here. And okay, he's hitting a late game timing. Alk says you can end GG. Jotaro says go fight. He doesn't want free MMR, he wants a fight. He's get the Aghanim Scepter as well. So okay, the Swift Slash. And I like this because a lot of people buy early Ags on Jug. I think it sucks. You don't do enough damage. I really feel that if you buy early Ags, it just doesn't do enough damage. But once you have arguably 5 DPS items, then it makes sense. The Swift Slash is going to kill. He didn't buy a shard this game, which is something to note. They nerfed it so many times where I kind of think I just agree. You're better off playing around right-click items and hitting your right-click item timings plus the level 20 talent rather than playing around this spinny build, the shard. Yeah, I don't know. I like his variation of Jug here. It makes a lot of sense. This is really cool to see a kind of an off-meta hero come back a little bit. It's a very popular Dota hero, but definitely off-meta as the Nullifier. I cannot recommend this Nullifier item enough. It's cheaper than it's ever been. I'm a huge fan. I'm really a big fan. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.